about pressure, sending 6, 7, and 8 people pretty much every play. A lot like the 5. And I'm back with this ebook for defense, and I've never put out an ebook like this before. I've been struggling a little bit on defense, and is really ramp up the pressure, and that's what this ebook is going to be. It's going to be all about pressure, sending 6, 7, and 8 people pretty much every play. A lot like the 5-2 defense was last year. This is just 3-4 odd. I've seen a lot of people running it different ways. People say show blitz. People say baseline, and for me, I found the best way that works for me because of the new get to the line fast feature, and it's all in the adjustments being a little bit different than they have been in previous years. I've been getting quick snapped a lot, and I find the best way to run this is with without baseline, man align. And for me, obviously, you can call any play and pretty much do this with baseline. But I like to do is call pinch buck zero. That is the defense that I like. And to set this up, I like to put my fastest defensive ends. Now, obviously, it's great if they're Von Miller and Bradley Chubb or Khalil Mack or whoever's coming off the edge that can also pass rush. Because sometimes they'll block, half the team or most of the team. You only send out 2 wide receivers when you're running this defense. And you like to see guys that can get home if they're matched up on a running back or a tight end. And so that's what I like to say. Put my 2 best pass rushers out here, outside linebacker, and most importantly, the fastest. But because the way the quarterback gets rid of the ball, a little bit slower this year, and these guys are fast, this is just a nightmare to deal with. And like I said, I like to call pinch buck zero. I don't base align, I man align. And I'll show you guys why I do that, because it allows my corners to already be lined up in the right spot. And because your linebackers are all blitzing anyway, they're pretty much in a baseline position to begin with. A lot of times if you call man align and you cover 3 cloud, you'll come out and your linebackers will be out by the wide receivers. Now that won't happen when you call pinch buck zero. So this essentially is an ebook with 1 defensive play, just because of that. Now we can adjust out of that according to what defense or what offense we're playing against, but it's essentially 1 play. We can change a bunch of people and everything. And I'll tell you this, and the most success I've had is blitzing all 7 people in the front 7. So when I set up my Mutt team right now to start, it's the first 3 days. I have Patrick Peterson, Jalen Ramsey, Denzel Ward, and Darius Slay as safeties. They're pretty much the fastest cornerbacks you could have back here, and I got them as safety just because they play man and everything. And the 2 best corners, Ramsey and Peterson, out there on the outside wide to press, get a little physical at the line of scrimmage, reroute wide receivers, and play good defense. Because when you're blitzing 7, these guys, have a split second to make a decision. If your corners can hold up for a little bit, you'll be a lot better. So, like I said, I like to call pinch buck zero. Practice mostly. We can't even baseline or anything. And we're going to go, let's just go with a little wide trips. One of my favorite formations, really. And as you see here, I'm already out. I am not baselined. All my people are lined up perfectly, pretty much. Now my safety's on the tight end, and my linebacker's on the running back. Now what I like to do is you see a lot of people showing blitz. For me, that doesn't do it. What I like to do is press and pinch my linebackers. So linebackers are that much closer. I like to globally re-blitz them all. So right now, we're sending all 7 of these people. Now, I could easily get killed by the play that's on the screen, which is stick, which is running back flat, tight end flat. Yeah, that could kill me. But you have to make them make a decision. That's what it is. And what I like to do, it depends on who the quarterback is. If you have a Lamar Jackson or you have a mobile quarterback, and you start feeling the vibes of them in the tendency of getting out of the pocket, I like to contain. Quarterback contain this year is LB, and then hit RB for the cornerback contain. And what was I going to say? And because of that, bang, now we got contains on the outside. These 5 guys will take up the 5 offensive linemen. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb will come free instantly. And the quarterback has nothing to do. Throw the ball over here. Incomplete. You see that again. Look how fast my my outside linebackers get into the backfield here. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, both of these guys are super fast. All 5 of these guys take up this offensive lineman. And we had some decent coverage out here. Like I said, I took the tight end. Now, you got to gamble. They have a split second to make a decision, so you got to take pretty much the most dangerous person. Now, the tight end can go right up on a streak, So in this situation, he's probably more dangerous, and the running back and the flat is dangerous too because of the way the jukes are, and especially the stiff arm. But when you can get this type of pressure on your quarterback, it's not about having consistent, sustained, great defense. It's about getting a couple sacks, getting your player on their X factor, and getting some turnovers. That's pretty much what I'm doing on defense now. I just want to get some turnovers, get some big plays on defense, high pressure. I'll tell you guys this right now while running this defense. You will give up big plays. You will get one play touchdowns on the easiest things. A tight end streak right up the middle, running back flat pass will score one play touchdowns on you. That's just part of the game. You have to embrace that. And because what you want is a few turnovers, a few punts, a few big sacks, and most importantly, those pick sixes that will come out of this defense. Because once you get them guessing like this, that's when you sneak your hard flat out here. That's where you go hard flat, yellow zone here, and a deep blue, and you just mix it up just a little bit. Just gamble and pretty much make your opponent make a quick read right away. Now I'll show you guys. This is the contained version. You're not going to get outside of this. You see Von Miller goes for a contain, then goes after the quarterback. Now the downside of containers are not instantly in there. So we'll do this again. Pinched, blitz everybody. We're going to press. A lot of times I like taking this guy and getting him up there, getting him physical, kind of get rid of him being a safety. And literally I just have 3 corners. When you don't contain is when they super scream. No shot. They don't take that step to go after the quarterback. Now, obviously the contain is good if someone's rolling out or they max protect and you don't want them to get outside. But if they're not max protecting, if they're under center, if they're in, shotgun tight, whatever it may be, you just let them come free, no contain, and you see how ridiculously fast Bradley Chubb and Von Miller in the backfield. And that's what I mean. If you take away that first read, like I took away the tight end, that's a loss of 5. We get to 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 17. Whatever they lose on the sack will be the situation, really. So that's what you have to, and once you get your opponent blocking everybody, that's pretty much the goal of this 3-4 defense. And later in the ebook, I'm going to show you guys pretty much how I defend it against every popular formation, pretty much in Madden so far this year. That's what I'll do because, like I said, you guys, it's easy to set up, and because we're man aligning, everybody's already lined up. Boom, I'm set up. That's it. So you'll get quick snap. You'll get on the game quick, and you'll start getting quick snap. It'll be very tough for you to adjust. And because of that, you're going to go to have nightmares. And because man align, we went man align, press, pinch linebackers rather than baseline show blitz. If you're baseline showing blitz, you got to move every DB. It's a pain in the butt, and you'll super give up a bunch of touchdowns. But I'm going to break down how to use this defense against, we'll say bunch, we'll say a little shotgun tight, maybe split close, and trips tight end as well. Break these down of how I like to use them and how you guys should be using them. All right, man. Now I'm going to show you guys the biggest secret that makes this defense usable. Obviously, if you're pressing, you're going to give up big plays. And if I was on defense, or on offense, I would definitely try to capitalize on the fact you're pressing. Now, we're going to come here and we're going to press. And what I would do, honestly, if I see press, I see Antonio Brown. I just spent $500K on my new wide receiver. This is what I would do. I would max protect. I would get him out of the way, streak, and just lead his fade to Antonio Brown. We see a press. Boom. Antonio Brown's off the line of scrimmage. He's taking one all the way to the Baja. X Factor. Killing that man press. Easy. No adjustments. Block everybody through a streak, right? Now, what I'm going to show you is how to stop that and still get the same look. Now, one of the most underutilized features by you guys in Madden is this shading. The coverage adjustments. Now, because the same look, it looks exactly the same, but I'll Y and I'll over the top, and we'll see how Chris Harris plays this streak this time with Antonio Brown. You see, just mismatch. It's a mismatch in speed, but he doesn't press him. He gets in front of him off the line. You can lob it up to him. I would click on at this point with Chris Harris and get a pick. but he swats it away. So huge difference. Looks exactly the same. You'll have your opponents blocking everybody trying to hit these fades, but because you use the coverage adjustment to go over the top, your man press will not get beat over the top. Yeah, they won't press them at the line, but they will stop, and you will not get beat for touchdowns. And that works for so many different formations, and that's just takes his defense to a different level. Because not only will you get these sacks and interceptions and big turnovers, what you'll get is opponents wasting plays trying to go up top on your coverage. All right. The first formation I want to talk about is trips tight end. Like I said, we're man aligned, so my safety and my two corners are on this left side over here, Chris Harris and Bryce Callahan over here. Justice Simmons is my safety. Now what I'll do is I'll pinch my linebackers. Boom, there they are. I'm going to blitz all of them. Now this is my responsibility. This whole side is my responsibility. You know, obviously if you guys have played any trips tight end, you know the main bazooka play is tight end or running back flat, tight end angle route. Or tight end corner route. Now, because of this defense, they're going to have a second to make. If they run that play, they're pretty much going to have to snap throw the ball. Now, this is your job over here. Now, I wouldn't sell all the way out to the running back. I would just float around here. Now, if your opponent chooses to continually throw at your user, then you're doing a good job on defense. That's a good defense, period. Because eventually you'll make the right play and take them to the crib for 6. That's how pretty much I play defense. You know, but they're going to have a split second to go ahead and make a play here. All the other 3 wide receivers it's going to be tough for them to get off the line by the time they get sacked. And we're not going to contain the first play. Just let it fly and see what happens. The running back is my responsibility. We see the running back, boom, take away the running back. That's pretty much how I play trips tight end. That's it. You know, we press here, pinch the linebackers. Boom. So we're sending 7. We got 4 in coverage. This is my side. Now this is probably one of the most popular formations on Weekend League. Popular formations, pretty much any part of Madden, competitive Madden, regular or casual Madden. Trips tight end is one of the main formations. Now, like I said, you use this guy not only to stop the running back, but he's the guy that's going to stop the run. Because you have so many people in the box here, it's going to take up every single blocker. So you're going to have to make a play with the safety to kind of stop the run out of here. Like I said, because there's 7 people blitzing and there's only 6 blockers. Von Miller might come free. One of the middle linebackers might come free, but there's definitely going to be a chance for you to shoot the gap. So with these, I like to be on the safety, guard this side. And eventually what they'll get doing, they don't want to keep throwing at your user. So eventually what they'll do is start slanting these guys. So when that happens, I start, getting cute maybe and doing some things like this to go ahead and make some stops along the backside like this for quick slants, quick digs, quick corner routes, quick flat routes. I'll go like that. So not only do I have this side, I have a hook curl for a quick slant, I have a hard flat for a quick flat route or out route, and then I have a deep blue just in case. Now, like I said this before, you guys might be looking at this like, wow, that's the easiest defense to beat. Yeah, it is if they don't have more than a split second to throw the ball, for sure. So you got to just keep this pressure up and go ahead and take a chance every once in a while. This defense is about taking chances, gambling, and kind of playing. It's not bend but don't break. This is break and make your opponent break, and that's how I play trips tight end out of the 3-4 pinch buck 0. All right, now let's go over a bunch. Obviously, the most popular formation in Madden the last couple years. And for this, what we want to do is we still man line press, pinch the linebackers. We're right there. The reason why bunch is so good is because you can block 2 people. Now we'll come here with Simmons. I don't even know how to show my play art when I have 2 controllers plugged in. Hold on. There it is. All right. So that's what we got. We're going bunch. I had the tight end running back. Your whole point is you hope they block the running back. You know, every once in a while they'll come out here and they'll try to, you know, send 5 out and make a read. In that case, you just got to pick one and go for it, really, and make them hold the ball. They're going to get sacked instantly if they hold the ball too long. So that's pretty much where you're at with that. Not only do they have to wait for your user, they have to figure out if you put a flat zone out there, whatever it may be. But this is the way I like to play. I like to get this guy right up here on the slot receiver, the point man of the bunch, and really get physical with him. So right now, everybody's in the box, yes. And I'll show you guys what I like to do. You got a bunch you have to get adjusted because they can max protect and pick up the pressure. Now, obviously, if they just want to come out here and they want to run, you know, send out wide receivers, they're going to get screamed at. So I'll show you what bunch verticals looks like against this defense. You know, obviously one of the best plays in the game, bunch verticals. Now the running back's going to pick up Von Miller, of course, but then Bradley Chubb is off that edge. I have no time. Sack, fumble to the crib. Now, obviously, you're sitting at home. I'm sitting at home and say, why doesn't they just block everybody? And I'll show you guys what I do. You know, it's a simple solution. It sounds crazy, but what you want to do is you want to bring one more man than they can block. You know, you got to get these guys to the point where they're blocking 7 and where they're blocking 10 people. So right now, what I want to do is I want to take Simmons. That's why I put him here. Simmons is going to be my next guy up, essentially. He's the next guy up. So not only are we're sending 8 this play against bunch. And the reason I like, you can do it a multitude of ways. You can bring this guy down here and kind of user rush him. But for me personally, I enjoy bringing that point man down. One, because 9 times out of 10, if you play a bunch player, and Skimbo is the first one to tell you, they want to roll out to the bunch side. And by blitzing that guy off that edge, it really stops them from rolling out to the left. If they're going to run away, it's going to be to the right, where they don't really have that many receivers and it's tougher to get away. And when I'm doing this defense, I'm definitely going to go ahead and put my outside corner over there in a flat zone, in a cloud flat. This is for the wheel right away. I mean, they're not going to have any time for the wheel to get past 15 yards. This is for a flat route. They put any of those receivers on a flat. Because right now with this, I have this whole deep middle. That's my responsibility. I have to worry about a streak right up the middle, a drag, whatever it may be. You have to jump the first thing in front of your face. You're sending 8 people. You know, I hope Chris Harris over here holds his own over there, and I'll show you guys how to get good coverage from your corners and press. Make sure Chris Harris holds it down over there for you. And this is what it's going to look like. You know, we're going to have, I'm not going to be able to user and play at the same time, but say we block, and this is what I would do. You know, you block, you drag this guy, whatever it may be, to try to get this open. You know, so we're going to go ahead. We still got a guy coming free. I would guard RB, and that's pretty much what I would do to destroy bunch. I said I would guard RB. As we see, we'll take a look at the replay. Because this is everybody's favorite thing to do is get in bunch and max protect. Boom. We're sending 8 people right up the gut. We have a linebacker. That's why I'd have Shazier, Bobby Wagner, even Devin White, the rookie with 83 speed. Then we have our guy coming off the edge that could either bump the point man or come on a blitz. Send more than they can block, man. This is all about high-intensity defense. It's not about bend but don't break. Make them make a mistake, and everybody online will make a mistake. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. The best players in the world make mistakes. So Johnny down the street will definitely make mistakes. And that's pretty much the basis of playing bunch with this type of defense. Now I'm going to show you guys how to defend anything tight, whether it be tight offset, tight flex, tight, whatever, any compression set. And honestly, I start salivating when I see these on defense because there's nobody out wide. So you're pretty much just defending this little area. You know, now once again, they can max protect. For me, in these situations, I'm probably always on the running back side, you know, but because they're probably the quickest read out of the backfield. But for these, I think this one is pretty easy to defend. And because of that, yes, they can max protect, and that's when we'll just put our next man up off the edge. Any tight, I'll put the next man up off the edge. You know, and most of the time it would probably be the edge without the running back. Maybe over here, something like this. And a lot of times against tight, I'll find myself using a corner, as we have 3 people in covers right now. You know, I might go man up here, man up there, and stay on this side, you know, and then get these 2 receivers. That's if they max protect. This is why it comes down to we don't want a baseline. We want a man line. We want to have all our goons up there in the box, all our goons putting pressure on the offense. And we'll see what this looks like if I go ahead and max protect. You know, this is my offensive play right now. We'll see how it looks. Still getting that pressure off the edge with Chris Harris. I would have guarded them 2 guys in the middle. It's just really hard to play tight. And then we can go ahead and we'll show what I would do if they're sending out 5. You know, that's what we have now. We have our people blitzing, like I said, so they're going to get pressure if they send out 5. Now, I would probably do something along the lines of this against tight. Never want to put this guy like this. Never want to go, what the hell did I do? Oh. Never want to put him in a deep half. Why never put him in a deep half? Because he's going to go to half of the field, which is all the way to the left, all the way over here. So a seam right at the middle of the field will be wide open. When you're sending this much pressure, if you want a little bit of deep coverage, you got to put him in a deep quarter. See the difference of where they go? Now his line is right here rather than all the way right here. You know, yeah, he won't guard the sideline, but you don't have to guard the sideline in this set. That's one of the disadvantages of tight. You have to guard, you know, more the deep seam rather than, you know, the outside. So if I do that, now I don't have to worry about, I can use this guy because I can guard the running back, I can guard a corner route, I can guard a drag if I want to. I can guard pretty much from here all the way to the outside. And I don't have to worry about deep because I know I have Simmons here in this deep, you know, this deep quarter over here. Now these guys are manned up. That's good. You know, make sure they do their work there. So I can pretty much take super gambles with Bryce Callahan right now. So I'll essentially play a zone like that. You know, I'll show you what it's like when it's not hit. Like, there's no way, as you guys seen this video, even if I block one person over here in Wilson, you know, I'm still going to get pressure right around the edge, Von Miller. It's just so hard to pick this up without blocking the whole team. And I'll show you guys the way I like to attack when people block the whole team is send another person. Send more than they can block. And that's pretty much the way I like to play. And sometimes you can zone people out the whole way. You can go with this, a look like this. Like I said, I would never put deep halves when sending this much pressure against this set. You know, if they have time to motion out, throw a fade down the sideline or something, then God bless, then your pressure didn't get home. The next play, you need to send more people, pretty much. But they'll guard the seams pretty well, and then you have your flat routes, you know, and you know where your 4 guys are. Your 4 guys are always lined up perfectly because we're using that man aligned feature. Last thing I'm going to show you guys is kind of how to defend the run out of the 3-4. Same thing, pinch linebackers, press, maybe play over the top, whatever it may be. A lot of times when I do this, I'll always use it a weak side safety. Now, the weak side is a bunch of different things. One, it's weak now because there's an extra blocker in Antonio Brown on the left side. So that's the strong side of the run. It has an extra blocker, so I'll use it as safety on the weak side because it's kind of just a numbers game. Because of that, you know, you want to just add that extra person. Because we have so many people in the box, it is up to your user a lot of times to stop the run, to be the last man. And the way I see it is the more aggressive you play it, the easier it is. Because if you sit back here and play passive, you allow the running back all day to make these new moves, these new jukes, spins, stiff arm, whatever it may be. So for me, I like to really attack, anticipate that the run is going to go to the strong side, whether it's like a I form, which is one tight end, or it's a strong I close. You always kind of want to be on the weak side, flowing to the run, and just making a play in the backfield, really. That's what you want to do. You want to be aggressive. You want to get after it, and you just want to get after the ball. Come down here. There we see Simmons making a play, but I was right there behind just to make the play. It's tough to do with 2 controllers. Press A and then get on your user. But as you see, there's so many people taking up all these blocks that, there's definitely a gap for me to run through. And this is what I mean about being aggressive. Run through these gaps. Don't wait till he gets out here or get into open field, because it'll be so hard to tackle him. Get through that gap faster and just allow yourself to make plays and trust yourself to make plays on the run. It's definitely the best way to stop the run. Put a lot of people in the box, make a play in the backfield. If you make this play a couple times, they're not going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to try to air it out. And because you're in 3-4, people naturally don't want to run the ball against 3-4. You'll be able to have a lot of linebackers out there to make a lot of plays for you, and they'll be afraid to run. And once you stop it like this a couple times, they'll definitely want to try to pass against you, and we know what to do when they try to pass.